Harriet James.
Good morning, everyone. We are honestly so excited to be here with you guys. For those of you that don't know, we are Dan and Harriet. And I'm actually personally very happy about this event because it's the first time in 6 weeks I've actually had an excuse to get dressed and out of my pajamas. Don't know if you guys are feeling the same. But yeah, we're here to talk to you about how we work together as a couple. And we want to take you back 5.5 years ago when we joined. So some of you might be actually really surprised to find out that it all started with Dan.
Yeah, so 5.5 years ago, I was working as a carpenter, living for the weekends, paycheck to paycheck, all that kind of good stuff. I was sick and tired of being sick and tired, and I actually started to seek another job. And that's when I got a message on Facebook to be invited to an event in the next town across from mine on a cold, wintry evening. And I said to Harriet, look, there's this networking event. I'm going to go along, check it out, see what it's all about, see if I'd like to do it. Harriet was on the sofa watching EastEnders, Ian Beale. And I said to her, look, I'm going to go to this networking event. Do you want to come with me? And I was pretty nervous, I was scared to go. So she didn't want to go, so I didn't go. But then top tip for you number one is the person who invited me to that event, they followed up with me and said, look, there's another event in a couple of weeks in your hometown. They brought the event to me. And I said to Harriet, look, the next one I'm going to with or without you. Now, Harriet said, fair enough, he's going to go with or without me. She's who invited me. It was Alex Webb's daughter, Romy. She was quite attractive. Harriet said, right, you're not going alone. Harriet came with me to the event. We sat in the back of the room. I was very sceptical, but we were inspired, right?
Yeah, I mean, let's just address that. Girls, ladies, I think you'll agree. You don't let your man go anywhere with an attractive woman without going and checking it out first. So that was genuinely my reason for being at that event. I was not there for myself. For anyone that doesn't know, I was actually a secondary school teacher. So I was very much focused on my career path. I wasn't looking for opportunity like Dan was. So the people joined for two reasons, right? They joined either out of desperation, like Dan's actively seeking opportunity, or they joined out of inspiration, which is what happened to me. I went along to the event and I was inspired. And maybe your partner right now isn't in the business, they're not interested in the business, but that's okay. Be patient, keep showing up, and maybe they'll be inspired later on to join you.
Exactly, guys. So I signed up, I was raring to go. I was super nervous though. I was so nervous that when I was filling out the sign-up form, I actually spelled my name wrong. That's how nervous I was, but I did it anyway. And I was very excited. I went crazy out there. I went trying to get all the customers, all the team members. And guess what? I tried really, really hard and couldn't get one customer. And I got my first customer after 6 weeks of trying. So for those of you who have done a sale already in your first month, you're already much better than I am. And the next thing to know is that Harriet smashed it to Partner Plus quite fast. So Harriet was quite good at getting customers. And then eventually after that time, I managed to get a team member. So Harriet was good at getting sales. And I think that was probably because she was more inspired by the opportunity and I was coming from a place of desperation. So that probably rubbed off onto people when people said yes to Harriet more than they did to me. But then once I got a couple of team members, I then taught Harriet how to get team members and she taught me how to get sales. So we transferred our skills over to each other.
Yeah, and I always think it's crazy. Like, imagine if Dan had quit the business within 6 weeks of joining because he didn't get his first customer. I personally have had so many team members leave because they didn't get off to what they thought they should or shouldn't be doing in their first few weeks. And people set sort of unrealistic expectations. And Dan is now an international marketing director, and yet he didn't get his first customer. So where you start doesn't determine where you finish, guys. Just remember that. And for anyone that doesn't know, Dan and I actually just had a shared franchise. So we signed up in Dan's name. We actually started to build a team, and within about 6 months, we were at the sales coordinator position, and we had a team of about 30 people. And I didn't really know what happened, but it almost felt like we woke up one day and our whole team had disappeared. They'd all quit. No one was doing it anymore. We left with pretty much one team member, and that can be really deflating, right? But because we'd started on our self-development journey, we weren't far with it, but we'd started to work on our mindset. Our sort of attitude was, we've done it before, we can do it again. And that's all we told ourselves. And really, that was where we learned our most valuable lesson.
Yeah, so we got to SC, we rebuilt a bit of a team, but we were struggling to help people get to SP. So I said to Harriet, look, we've got to SC, we've got a team of Partner Pluses, you're going to have to show them what to do. So I signed Harriet up as my first franchise partner, well, my first senior partner. She then smashed it to SP, reconfirmed, went on to SC, and my business started to move. And because she led the way for the team at the time, they then started to move and duplicate what Harriet was doing, and I started to build a nice wide foundation. I got 3 Club and SSC 120 days later, and I was QNMD. So we got our business moving because we started to lead by example, rather than Dan and Harriet sort of just saying do this, do that. We physically went and did it again and showed them. So Harriet was there, and we always like to have the analogy of like, it's important to keep your head in your clouds but your feet in the dirt. And what I mean by this is always be optimistic, always have that end goal in sight. And that was one thing that Alex definitely taught me to start with, was always have the larger vision there, because some days, I've always got my sleeves rolled up, because you need to be able to roll your sleeves up and get to work in this business, and keep open and positive mindset. So that combination of hard work but optimistic mindset is one of my main keys to success.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people, their biggest question is, how do you motivate your team? How do you keep them going? How do you get your team to do more? And it will always come back to the same thing. You have to do more. If you want your team to do more, it has to start with you. There's an amazing quote: the speed of the pack is the speed of the leader. And Dan and I, 5.5 years in, still pride ourselves on bringing new customers, new team members every single month. And I think if you want your team to follow, you've got to set that example.
Yeah, so for example, when we were working as a partnership, well, we still are working as a partnership, but we're working as more of a team. So what I mean by this is, when I quit my job as a carpenter, it was actually not a very good decision financially, because we had a mortgage to pay and I wasn't quite making enough for my Juice Plus job. But Harriet was working as a school teacher, and she said, right, you quit your job, you build the business, I'm going to go to work and pay the bills, okay? So then we built the business, and that's when we went from SC to QNMD in 120 days, and then I replaced my carpentry income with the Juice Plus income. And then a couple of years later, or maybe a year or so later, Harriet was in hospital with operation, and at that point she couldn't really be on her phone, she couldn't really build her business. And so what I'm trying to say is, when I was needing the financial support, she was helping me, and when she was in hospital, I was helping her. I was replying to her messages, I was posting for her. So she was in hospital and I was building her business. So you have to work and help each other out in times of difficulty.
Yeah, and that works with like extreme examples and everyday things. So I remember that time, like I was in hospital, I had 5 operations within the space of a month. So you can imagine like what that was like. But like the day after I had surgery, I had an oxygen mask on, and I remember Dan was at my bedside, and I literally would take off my mask to tell him what to reply to my team and my customers, because that's how dedicated I was to building this business. And Dan picked up the slack. But then on a daily basis, if I'm snowed under with team members and new customers, then Dan might have to do the cooking, or he might have to do the washing,
which is, by the way, quite often at the moment. Too often.
That's what we mean, it's equality. We're not, oh, she does the washing, she does the cooking. We pick up the slack for each other because we're a team.
Exactly. And for some of you at home right now who are thinking, it's all right for you guys, you live together, for a certain amount of time, when Harriet was working as a school teacher still, you still have to find your buddy. So I had my mentor, I had my team, but I also had to find other people that inspired me. So you could find someone who you don't even know as your inspiration. For example, I follow people online like Grant Cardone, Gary Vaynerchuk, Jim Rohn, and I have what I like to call virtual mentors. So on days where I feel a bit down the dumps and not quite as motivated, and my mentors aren't around or whatever, I will go and I will physically, plug myself into some inspirational stuff to reboost myself back in the right headspace. So just remember, guys, that you can always go and find what I like to call a virtual mentor on those types of days.
Yeah, and your mentor doesn't have to be somebody that is in your upline. It doesn't have to be someone within your own team. So for me, I was really seeking kind of like a female mentor that I could feel inspired by. And I ended up adopting my best friend, Olivia Measures. Those of you, I'm sure you all know who she is. We actually are in completely different teams. We're not linked whatsoever, but we had met several times. Our paths had crossed. And we just built this natural friendship that sparked from event to event. And again, that's why these offline events are so amazing, because you're going to meet like-minded people. If I'd not gone to the events, I never would have become best friends with Olivia. But It all started off with a friendship. And then I remember saying to her one day, I really feel like I need someone that can hold me accountable, someone that can hold me accountable to my goals. Is it okay if I just, at the start of every month, I share my goals with you and then I follow up with you at the end of the month? And she was like, of course it is. So that's kind of how we started out. And then over time, we sort of worked really well together, and it became more than accountability. It became a collaboration. It became motivation. And now, if I'm down, she picks me up. If she's unmotivated, I motivate her. And now, we do all our team calls together. And what we've created is really special. So, you might find mentors in the most unlikely people that you don't even know yet. So go and find yourself a buddy, someone that you can partner up with, where you both bring something to the table. Now, kind of moving on to talking about buddies, obviously Dan and I are a couple. We've been together 7 years, we're engaged, but we also live together. We are also gym partners, business partners, and best friends. So it's intense, right? But we want to talk to you more about finding your buddy.
Yeah, exactly. So I like to think of having a buddy in your business almost like having a gym partner. And the reason why is because it transfers so well. Like when you have a gym partner, they're saying to you, come on, let's go to the gym. And on the days you don't feel like it, they make you go to the gym. When you're actually in the gym, they're spotting you on lifting the weights. So they will help you, give that extra 10%. And I think that's what it's all about. It's all about having someone there to guide you, spot you, and pick you up when you're feeling down. And if you have a gym buddy, you'll totally relate to this. Because there's some days where you'll wake up and you simply do not feel like doing it as much, but your gym buddy will be there to say, come on, you've got this. And me and Harriet do that very, very often. And that's why we're so consistent, because on days where Harriet's a bit down or I'm a bit down, we will pick each other up, so we kind of never have any bad days really because of that.
Yeah, I mean, how hard is it if you've got a gym partner, if we stay with that analogy, if you've got a gym partner that's unmotivated, you're having to turn up to their house and physically drag them out of bed to come with you. That's not the kind of gym partner you really want. And it's easier to go out there and get a new gym buddy than it is to try and drag that one out of bed. So there's a saying, it's easier to give birth than it is to wake the dead. And this might relate to some of your team, okay? I mean, I'm sure lots of you on here can relate to this. Who's ever felt like they're giving their team more than what they're receiving, or they want this more for somebody than they seem to want it for themselves? I know I've definitely been there and put much more effort into people who just don't really want it enough. And I think it's important that, just like John said, actually, it's interesting, we obviously had the same mentor, so we kind of repeat the same things, but you've got to meet people for where they're at. And what I mean by this is someone's giving you 10%, you give them 10%. I say to my team, if you want to jog, I'll jog with you. If you want to walk, I'll walk with you. But if you want to sprint, then I'll be right alongside you. And it's that thing of, if you give me 100%, as Alex would say, I'll move in with you. If you live with your partner, you can jump into bed with them. But I'm not asking you to jump into bed with your partners, but you get the idea that you've got to meet people for where they are at. I think that's really, really crucial.
100%. And always try and pick someone, if you're not picking your partner, if you're looking for someone in your sideline or downline right now, think of someone who has strengths in areas that you don't have. So try and find things where, if you're weak in one area, they're good at recruiting, I'll buddy up with that person, and you can teach each other the transferable skills. For example, on days where Harriet isn't quite in the mood to go to the gym or go exercise, I'm quite often the one that says, come on, we've got to exercise, because I love exercising. But my downfall is she helps me stay on plan with my food. So she's the one that says, stop eating the donuts, put that down, let's do this. No, we're not going down that aisle, we're going to the fresh fruit and veg aisle. So she helps me stay on track with my food, I help her stay on track with her exercise, and together it helps us both win. So it's very important that you guys go and find someone like that.
Yeah, and like Dan said, figure out what you're good at and work to your strengths. It could even be as simple as somebody in the business that inspires you because they're particularly great at getting customers, or they're particularly great on social media. Go and set their profiles to your seed first. Go and take inspiration from people. Be yourself. Please don't try and be anyone but that, because you are great as you are. But go and take inspiration from people who are good. I'm always looking at the leaderboards. Who's at the top? Who can I get inspiration from? Because success leaves clues. And I think when you work to your strengths, that's when you honestly thrive. So for Dan and I, we use this analogy of I'm the hooker and he's the cooker. And what we mean by this is I'm really great at going out and closing new partners and bringing them on board. Dan is particularly great at teaching the team and guiding them. So we just work to our strengths. the best thing is that we've now been able to teach one another, so we actually are both really good at both things. But I think knowing where your strengths lie just help you excel even more.
Massively. And the final thing from me, my most important top tip, and this is the reason why we are where we are, is you have to have a shared vision. Now, if you're not working with your partner, then you can share your vision or your goals or your dreams with people around you. It's very important that you are communicating your visions and the reasons why you're doing this every single day. For example, me and Harriet go for a 5K walk. We've done it every day for the last month because it's part of our exercise during lockdown. But also, during that 1 hour walk, all we're talking about is our business, the future, what we want to do with this, what we want to do with that. And we're really manifesting and focusing on the good and positive things that we want from our lives. So it's very important that you have a shared vision, a vision board. Talk to your partners, talk to your family, talk to your friends. And if they don't get it, that's fine. You just talk to someone that does get it, maybe your team. And just really have a complete, crystal clear shared vision so you both know exactly where you want to go, because that way you'll be working together with each other instead of apart from each other. And you could actually be, if Harriet wants to go that way and I want to go that way, it's going to clash. But if we're walking together in the same direction, then we're going to get there quicker.
Yeah, 100%. And you want to get your family involved in this. So even if your partner isn't in the business, you could get them involved in making a vision board. So Dan and I have our own individual separate vision boards with our own personal goals, because we are still two individual people at the end of the day, but we have a joint vision board that, like Dan said, we talk about it every day. We have these short-term, mid-term, long-term goals, and then we have our end vision. And the end vision is what gets us out of bed every single morning. It excites us even like 5.5 years on. We're honestly so excited. So you could create a vision board, get your kids involved. They need to understand, I think, your family, why mum or dad is on that Zoom call, why they're spending Saturday watching a virtual convention, or why they're having to do this Zoom call and this and that. It's really important that they understand, even if they don't fully support, but they understand, and then they're going to feel so much more invested if something that they want is on the vision board that they know mummy or daddy is working towards. I think that's really important, is having that crystal clear vision for yourself, but also for your family. So just to kind of summarize, guys, get a buddy, find someone you can really lock in with, work to your strengths and learn from other people that inspire you, and have a shared vision, know what you're working towards every single day. But we hope you guys enjoyed our tips, and we look forward to the rest of the convention. Thanks everyone,
Thank you.
Take care.
Bye.